Every single year, millions of people hit that upload button for the very first time. They are excited, full of energy, and ready to make YouTube their big break. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Within months, most of them quit. Why does this happen? Why do so many creators start strong but then disappear just as quickly? In today's video, I am going to break down the biggest reason people fail on YouTube. And more importantly, how you can avoid failing into the same traps. So, if you ever felt frustrated with your channel, if you're ever thought about quitting or even wondered if this whole YouTube thing is really worth it, stick around because this might change the way you see your journey. I've actually started and managed more YouTube channels than I can count. This one is probably my 15th. Over the years, I tested different niches, experimented with content, and even managed and helped other channels grow. But here's the thing, not all of them survived. At one point, because of health issue, I had to step back completely. That meant many of those channels just stopped. They faded out and I had to let them go. No, I'm doing things differently. I've decided to focus only on my own channels, moving at my own pace and building something sustainable step by step. And I'll be honest, it hasn't always been easy. There were times when I was glued to analytics, refreshing the page every morning, hoping for some magical spike in views or subscribers. And when it didn't happen, frustration hit hard. I started asking myself, is this even worth it? Should I just quit? But here's what I realized. I wasn't failing. I was just falling into the same trap almost everyone falls into on YouTube. One of the biggest mistakes I see, and honestly, one of the biggest mistakes I made myself is chasing views instead of focusing on value. When I first started, I thought success on YouTube was all about the numbers. Every morning I'd wake up, grab my phone and refresh analytics, just hoping for a sudden spike in views or subscribers. Sometimes the numbers went up a little, sometimes they stayed flat, but it never felt like enough. And that's the trap. When you chase views, you are not actually building anything. You are just chasing a high score, like a game that never ends. The problem is, numbers don't equal impact. A video can get 1,000 views, but if no one connects with it, if no one feels value from it, those views won't turn into a community. They won't turn into growth. I had to learn this the hard way. Some of my videos performed well in numbers, but I realized they didn't build any deeper connection. People watched, then left. And that's when it hit me. Views don't make a channel successful. Relationships do. So the real question isn't how many people clicked on my video. The real question is, did this video help someone? Did it give them something valuable enough to come back? Because once you shift your focus to value, the numbers eventually follow, but in a much healthier, more sustainable way. The second big mistake is creating content without a real strategy. In the beginning, I was guilty of this too. I uploaded videos just because I thought they were interesting or because I felt like I had to put something out. One week it was one topic, the next week something completely different. There was no real structure, no clear plan, no bigger picture. And here's the problem. Without a strategy, your content is just noise. Even if one video does well, it doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't connect to the next video. It doesn't guide viewers deeper into your world. And it doesn't build a system that actually grows your channel or your business. I learned this the hard way. After years of uploading, I realized that making random videos wasn't enough. I had to think bigger. I had to design a system. That's when I started to connect my content with something more, building funnels, creating services, and developing digital products around what I was sharing. Instead of hoping a single video would somehow change everything, I built a framework where each piece of content had a role. A video wasn't just a video anymore. It was the first step in a bigger journey. And once I made that shift, things finally started to click. I stopped chasing randomness and I started building a system that could actually work for me instead of me working endlessly for nothing. The third mistake is lack of patience. And honestly, this might be the hardest one of all. Most people jump into YouTube expecting fast results. They think that if they just upload a few videos, things will take off, the views will roll in, and the channel will grow overnight. But that's not how it works. I know because I fell into the same trap. I spent years uploading content, checking analytics, and waiting for that breakthrough moment that never seemed to come. And it was frustrating because it felt like I was working so hard, but the results were barely moving. But here's the truth. YouTube growth is exponential, not immediate. It's like planting seeds. For a long time, nothing seems to happen. You water, you take care of it, you keep showing up, and it feels like there is no change. But then, slowly, growth starts to appear. And once it does, it compounds. One video connects to another, the algorithms start to understand your channel, and suddenly you see momentum building. The problem is most people give up right before that momentum kicks in. They stop watering the seed and they never see the results that could have come with just a little more patience. I had to learn that success on YouTube isn't about overnight wins. It's about consistent effort over time. And the longer you stay in the game, the higher your chance of breaking through. There was a moment when I realized I couldn't keep doing YouTube the same way. I launched and managed multiple channels, chased spikes, and burned myself out. So I did something drastic. I deleted my old channels and decided to start over with a different mindset. That reset hurt, but it gave me clarity. I asked, if you rebuilding from zero, what exactly am I building? And why would anyone care? That question changed everything. I'm not claiming I've already built a successful online business. I haven't. I'm starting to build it now, from scratch, in public. I'm mapping the audience I want to serve, the problems they face, and the transformation I can document honestly as I go. I'm designing the system, content that connects to offers I'm developing, simple funnels I'm setting up, an email list I'm growing, and a community I'm planning to open. Each video isn't a random upload anymore. It's a step one in a longer journey I'm actively building. And the story matters just much as the system. Not a polished success story, but a real-time build. That's what this channel, Build Freedom on Camera, is about. Showing the process of creating from zero with real experiments, real numbers and real pivots. That's when it clicked for me. YouTube isn't about luck. It's about building a system and a story that people actually care about. When those two align, the algorithm becomes an amplifier, not a savior. That's when I stopped chasing numbers and started building a system. Here's my promise to you. I'm going to document my entire strategy here, openly, step by step. You'll see me build from zero. The content plan, the upload rhythm, the thumbnail test, the titles that flop and the ones that land. You will watch me design the funnel in public, lead magnet, email sequences, first offers, and I share real numbers along the way. Views, watch time, CTR, retention patterns, email list growth, and conversion rates. You also see the unglamorous parts, the draft I don't publish, the edits I redo at 2 a.m., pricing experiments that miss, and the system I rebuild when they break. When something works, I'll show you why. When it doesn't, I'll show you what I change. This channel isn't about pretending to be an expert. It's about showing the real process so you can see what actually works and what doesn't. If you're building alongside me, you'll get weekly build logs, behind the scenes breakdowns and honest post-mortems of every experiment. No hype, no shortcuts, just transparent journey you can learn from, borrow from and adapt to your own channel, to your own business. Let's wrap this up. Most people fail on YouTube for three simple reasons. They chase views instead of value, they upload without a real strategy, and they give up before momentum kicks in. If you avoid these mistakes, you're already ahead of 90% of creators. This channel is my real-time build. I am documenting every step so you can see what actually works and what doesn't. If you want to follow the journey as it unfolds, subscribe and leave a comment about what you're building, and let's figure this out together.